Oh!
If any of you expected to get a fight this good from a Chinese anime, raise your hand. If you expected it to come from the third season of Hitori no Shita, keep your hands raised. Okay, now if you kept your hand raised, you know you're lying, okay? The series as a whole isn't too popular, and who would have expected
Well, I
this
said I would have paused, but this motherfucker flex. I'm sorry, like, I've been bugging out in some of the fights, but yo, that motherfucker is, he flipped his hat off, threw it around, and put it back on.
fight to be hidden in it.
Yes, sir. Bang, 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 bang. Hey, hey, all them a try, them can't deny. Nation, young boss. Young boss, is there?
All right, sinners, welcome back to the channel. Today I got for you guys some top 10 most epic anime fights of 2020. I was trying to put this video out a lot longer, but never got a chance to doing it. Never felt the right time. Today is the right time. I've been on a little anime theme, you know what I'm saying? As you guys will see via the videos. To be honest with you guys, like I said, depending on how I drop these, I haven't really been watching anime. Mainly because I don't have time for it. I haven't had time for it. And mainly because I haven't found anything that piques my interest. So far, I've been really watching The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. So What, I'm a Spider, and this other one I watched it called shit, I can't even remember the name. Shit was really Japanese. Afrigo, some shit. Africo. I don't know, but basically homeboy was he could transmute stuff. Like, he was a reincarnation. He got sent to another world with his whole class. He's able to transmute stuff, but they got caught in a dungeon, and now he's like a Kaneki with white hair and guns and a bad attitude. Y'all guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been really watching. So I kind of got, this is going to be my little way of finding stuff that I want to watch. Like, this one, I know this is God at High School, some shit like that, right? God at the High School. I heard this one is crazy. I heard the fight scene in this is crazy, so I might check it out. Like, this is basically my way of trying to find anime to watch. While you guys also in the comment section below letting me know what the hell to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's a good watch. Like, first of things first, if I don't watch animes that got they feel in it, like, I'm not going to sit there and watch. I'll probably watch one in the blue moon. But outside of that, you're not going to catch me watching no romantic comedies. Well, actually, yeah, you probably would. You're not going to catch me watching any drama. Any anime that's got drama in it. Nah. Like, deep drama. We talking deep drama. Like a telenovela type shit. I'm not doing that. I already got enough drama in my life. No, anime is about fighting and ass whooping and waifus. You know what I'm saying? We are men of culture. Come on now. But like, this is a long one, so after this conversation, I'm not pausing nothing. I might skip. You know what I'm saying? Because it's pretty long and lengthy. So let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's hurry up. 30 minutes is long. That shit look hard. That look hard. Oh shit.
It didn't seem too long ago, but we're actually in the last few weeks of 2020 already. Time's flown by, largely in part to the situation of the world at large. Nevertheless, the recovery of the anime industry is a tale for the ages, and I still find myself amazed at Japanese resiliency that managed to still bring us these shows that we love. So for today, I'll be going through 10 of the best anime fights in 2020, because let's be honest, half of the guys who like shonen series like anime for the fantasy and the fights, and we'll be taking a look at the best of the both of them today. As a precaution, there will be spoilers on this list, but I'll try to keep them to a minimum. Also, I won't be including stuff from fall 2020, even though I've already had some candidates in mind. I'll be saving that for the fall fights video, or maybe a volume 2 of this video. Now, before anything, I'd like you to subscribe and help this channel reach its next milestone. Your contribution would be...
So if you guys see something you like, you know what I'm saying, skip it, alright? Just skip it.
Up against Demon in Black Clover.
Skip it.
It's been a while,
I
but I legitimately think that Black Clover's become an underrated show. It may be because of the bad publicity it had when it first aired, but it has become a really enjoyable show now, but not a lot of people still seem to be watching it. A battle shonen is nothing without good fights, but we see a prime example of what Black Clover brings to the table with this fight. This fight pretty much encapsulates what a shonen fight is. Tense circumstances, a seemingly unbeatable foe, old reliable allies pitching in and joining the fight with their own awesome stunts. Seeing Arsenal surpass his limits while the opening music...
I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't been into Black Clover just because it's like Naruto. It really is like Naruto. I've been turned off by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still keep up with like what's going on in the manga. Like right now, currently, spoilers ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like I know they're doing this whole fight against demons. Like 3 other demon people, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I know about that, and they're getting crazy. But outside of that, I haven't really cared for it. And I feel like the animation is way too flashy.
Coming up next is a fight from Gleipnir. Shuichi and Claire versus Hikawa.
I gotta check this out. Yo, I have to see this, bro. I was reading the manga and this shit is so fire. But I stopped reading after like
the dynamic duo of Shuichi and Claire had a tough customer as their first challenge while getting used to their powers. They'd barely gotten an idea of the whole coin collecting business and their powers before they get shoved into the battle royale by Hikawa and her powerful limbs. The fight itself is not that swingy, as once Shuichi and Claire got a hang of things, they dispatched their first opponent without too much effort. The thing ends up with us getting a glimpse of Claire's ruthless side, but not before we get to see some great animation courtesy of Pine Jam. I think that the fight belongs here because it's one of the things that put Gleipnir on the map. Thanks to how the fight was done in a way that outdoes its manga counterpart, the encounter helped Gleipnir break through and become one of the more popular shows in the admittedly dry spring season. It then led the way to more amazing fights that we'll see down the line, but in terms of actual visuals, none of them come close to this one.
This is
We continue with something big. Misaka versus Doppelganger in the finale of Railgun.
No, that was Yo, that fight looks fire. And you know why I think it's fire? It's mainly just because of the fact that it's super hands to hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not over the top and flash. It's just brawling.
A grand fight, I think it just lacked a bit of oomph in terms of spectacle and scale compared to what we have as an ending to Railgun T. Where else could you see a giant Godzilla in anime and a showcase of how badass Misaka really is? I mean, before this, you'd probably think how she's one of the weaker level 5s thanks to how normal she seemed amongst the gallery of sociopaths or downright insane people. It makes you forget that Misaka is actually the 3rd ranked among them. Well, look no further than this fight that caps off Railgun T's storied run, which sees her face off against a seemingly unbeatable foe with near-perfect adaptability. The run-in by the rest of Scavenger as uneasy allies also brought me joy when I first watched this finale. Now, I hope that this convinced you to give Railgun T a shot, especially if you enjoyed the previous seasons. For an anime on its 3rd season, it hasn't lost its edge ever since the series started a decade ago.
Oh, shit. What the ass?
Time to scout.
Well, here's a battle featuring a side character now, as we move on to Berkoli versus Vector.
Oh, it's Sword Art? Really? Alright. At least they give it up to people, love.
The last core of Sword Art Online's War of Underworld went off to a fast start. After the controversial start to the season, I can see that a lot of people were brought back by the amazing fight that followed an episode after. And it wasn't Kirito's return that got people most excited. That would have to wait until around 5 to 6 more episodes. It was Berkoli's battle against Dark Lord Vector. Prior to this fight, we barely saw much of what Berkoli could really do, but this should prove that he more than deserves his moniker of being the legendary hero and the strongest Integrity Knight. Going toe-to-toe with the Lord of Darkness is next to impossible, but the leader of the Integrity Knights did it. As a novel reader, I can say that some details were omitted, which would have made the fight even more amazing, but I'm generally satisfied with what A1 gave us. This fight might not be the most important one or the best adapted in this core, but in terms of visuals and presentation, this fight completely blows everything else out of the water. A1 really bringing their A game to their cash cow franchise.
Yeah, I've been.
We continue the battles again.
I've been kind of like off of Sword Art Online, but I'll check it out. Now, Fate is good as fuck. And you know what? I'm gonna have to skip this one, y'all. I've really been meaning to watch Fate, and I've been on and off. Like if this the one I've been on, I think I'm on like episode 4 or 5 because I watched it a while back when it was first coming out, like piece by piece. I'm on the part when they just finished fighting. I saw the part when they finished fighting the Tiger Girl. You know what I'm saying? Like she looks like what's homeboy? Y'all guys don't talk about Archer. He looks like Archer's friend or aunt or whoever was staying with him and taking care of him. You know what I'm saying? And she was dressed up as a tiger. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Fate is God tier. This is still Fate. It's still Fate. Fate is God tier. And they was hyping it up like my son Gilgamesh about to get busy. Like, I gotta skip this one. I'm sorry. I gotta skip this one.
Move on to a non-Japanese anime on the list, like this one from White Cat Legend.
Animation is gold. Oh shit. Oh.
If you've been following, I recently featured this fight a few lists back, and looking at the stuff that I've watched this year, I can proudly say that I made the right call. Looking at the year as a whole, this final fight still holds up really well. Like, you can watch it without context and still be entertained. That's not to say that the fight has no emotional weight behind it though, but this one I'm pretty sure most people like for its choreography and just how complicated each sequence is. It's a complete chore to animate, yes, but thanks to the amazing team who brought us this series, we got something so aesthetically pleasing. We don't have grand attacks like noble phantasms that take up 80% of the screen in explosions, but as some say, less is more and simple is better.
What is the liquid doing? Oh! Oh,
if you've been paying attention to my videos lately, you won't be surprised.
What was this shit called?
Anime on the list like this one from White Cat Legend.
I'm checking this out for sure. Something else.
Surprised to see this on the list.
Kill or fire elements. These look like some underground anime
4
type
Killer
shit.
5 Elements may be short, but it brings with it a kind of animation excellence that's been sorely lacking in a number of its contemporaries. Maybe it's due to being less mainstream and thus being under the radar. That way the team have less pressure and probably deal with less deadlines. Whatever the reason may be, 2 thumbs up for the work they did in this sequence. In fact, if you were to tell me which Fog Hill fight I have to feature, I'd consider this interchangeable with the bridge scene that I featured on another list. Make sure to check that video out too if you've got the time. Back to this topic though, this thing is insane. Come on, try playing the video in slow motion and you can see how much work got put into the sequence in order to give us this experience. I had a hard time following the action at times, and that's not a negative thing, not in this context. It instead adds to the experience of the scene, and it's an experience that you rarely get these days. You knew a My Hero fight is coming sooner down the line, didn't you? Wait no more now, because our next entry is Endeavor versus Hood.
Oh, I read this in the manga. I stopped watching My Hero Academia anime.
The latest season of My Hero Academia really gave us one spectacular send-off. It shows off some lit visuals as well as a big redemption.
Like, yo, this in the manga was woo. And my son, you really get to show why my son Endeavor was really second place hero. Like, he fake. If there was no All Might, bro, he might be number 1 off the bat, because he's what. And then this was the time when he was making a change in his life, so he wasn't afraid to get a little nasty. You know what I'm saying? To let his kids know, like, you know, I'm making the daddy's here. He gonna make a change. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was on his bullshit this fight, and I think he was fighting him on his dolo too.
A fight, but this one's right up there too in terms of how impactful it was.
And it had an emotional weight to it too. Like, he wasn't playing at all.
Second place on this list is Jin versus Devi from God of High School.
Oh yeah, God of High School. Damn. Ooh.
God of High School entered with a bang, but unfortunately it can't carry that momentum to the end. When critics called God of High School an anime that's just full of fights, it makes you think that the fight should at least live up to the hype. Now, for the most part, I think the fights more than pull their weight and still make God of High School an exciting watch. At the forefront of many fights is Jin versus Devi. It's a tough decision for me, but I give this fight the nod because of the sheer hype and stakes it has going for it. We just saw Devi demolish his previous opponent, and we finally learned why he seems so hell-bent on winning. In the hopes of saving saving his friend, Davey had taken on a much more sadistic turn at fighting, and this new fighting style surely gave Jin a run for his money. The actual fight has to be seen to be believed, as we got a brilliant barrage of attacks that showcase both fighters' intensities and will to win. The best part about it is that it ends with the classic happy ending for everyone, with bonds forged through fire and a renewed will to face tomorrow. You can find gems in the most unlikely of places, and that saying couldn't be any more true with the #1 entry for today's list, that one fight from Hitori no Shita.
Oh!
If any of you expected to get a fight this good from a Chinese anime, raise your hand. If you expected it to come from the 3rd season of Hitori no Shita, keep your hands raised. Okay, now if you kept your hand raised, you know you're lying, okay? The series as a whole isn't too popular, and who would have expected this?
I said I would have paused, but this motherfucker flex. I'm sorry, like, I've been bugging out on some of the fights, but yo, that motherfucker he flipped his hat off, threw it around, and put it back on.
To be hidden in its 3rd season of all places. Heck, I won't even consider it much of a 3rd season, but more of a transition to a possible 4th season. Yet, in this unassuming transition season of a niche show, we have some of the sleekest and smoothest animation for a fight scene in as far back as I can remember. For how much is going on and how fast things are moving, it amazes me how the animators just knocked it out of the park with this one. In terms of dramatic stakes, the fight might be nowhere near the top, but in terms of animation and fight choreography, it certainly takes the cake for the best fights in 2020.
Oh! My God! Oh! That's a flex. That's a flex. If you break dancing on niggas, like, yo, that's a flex, y'all. Who's he fighting though? These the bad guys?
So, how did you find this list? Do you think that 2020 has been a good year in terms of anime fights? Are there other anime fights this
Thank you, man. Thank you. Outside of that, I'm not that interested. Alright, so I saw a couple of them I like, you know what I'm saying? Without a doubt, I can tell you this. I can tell you this right now. I'm watching this one. Galempi, that's what we called it. I'm watching Galempi. I already had it on my list. Fate, I'm definitely watching. It was already on my list. But the 2 I just added is going to be the white kitty shit. Because he looked like he getting nasty. That little kitty cat. That kitty cat feisty. I like it. He's nasty. And then the other one, Hitori no Shito.
Find gems in the most through fights tomorrow. Any more true with the #1
Hitori no Shita, the Outcast. Yeah. I'm going to check out the Hitori no Shita. Because that looks fire. But alright, you know what I'm saying? I like this. We going. I'm gonna let you. How would you guys? I'm trying to figure out how would you guys know if I was really watching that. Like, I can't put anything like TV show wise on the channel because I be having struggles with that. But like, I'm gonna get to it. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. But at the moment, I guess I'll just keep you guys posted. Like, Hitori no Shita, I'm definitely gonna check out. That looks too hard. And they saying it's 3rd season, so I'm gonna check it out in order. You know what I'm saying? The White Kitty, they ain't say nothing about no 2nd, 3rd season, so I guess it's just 1 season. I'm definitely gonna show love to that shit, and then yeah. But the Fate series I was checked out. I'm surprised I ain't even finished this version of the Fate series. You know what I'm saying? I've been slacking on anime as a whole, but y'all know what to do. Like up the video, share the video, show some love, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Peace.